Whew, okay, so now I'm making sure no nipple gate happens here. I'm making sure the girls are tied up. All right. Let's get to these next 20 seconds.
Doing these past 5 years. And you're asking me this? This is gonna sound crazy.
The chocobo farms.
Ooh, the chocobos are so cute.
In Nibelheim
I love them. Stop writing science Wait a second. Let's go back right quick. I need to know if I'm only lecturing Aerith or if I'm lecturing Tifa too.
No, Tifa's not riding side saddle.
Okay, because if she was, there'd be words for her too.
No.
Okay, as
we just don't want Aerith to die. Like, I mean, you're talking about a 300, 400 pound animal, and she's riding side saddle. It's like, girl, I'm sorry, you want to put some shorts on or something? Because
I have actually fallen off of a horse. No, there's a way to do it, and I don't suggest any of them.
Because I would.
It looks hella
Thanks,
gorgeous.
AH.
Don't do it.
Yeah, she said, low, no nipple action. Great tops, though. Thank you.
Yes.
But yeah, we just didn't want Aerith to die because I'm like, oh, you dealing with a 400 pound, whatever the hell these things, you know. I'm like, oh, girl, that's like, but she got the harness, like I said, she got the harness, so she's gonna be all right. She's gonna be fine.
She don't even have her knee wrapped around the horn of the saddle.
That's all right. She's gonna be fine.
I'm sorry. I know it's not that far down to the ground.
It's game logic.
That little girl is clumsy.
Yeah, it's game logic. Don't worry about it. Now, first off, let's just say, and by the way, I was wondering because it seems that in Rebirth they're going to do a lot of canon scenes. So this seems like a canon scene. I don't think you can swap out whoever's in this scene, for instance.
Yeah, I don't think you can either. So we already know who's canon. So when we play remake, we're like, okay, so canon for remake. Okay.
Yeah.
Or when we play OG.
But I was wondering, where is Red 13 here?
I don't know. Well, hang on, no. For this scene, he wasn't. He's not with you for this scene, and I think, but he is with you when you go through the.
Okay, yeah.
However, I do not.
That's why I'm replaying OG again because I've forgotten a lot of shit. So, because I was like, "Where's Red 13 here?" Like he's talking, but obviously he doesn't need to know this whole speech because Bukanaka told him it a million times.
But like. So yeah, I actually always take Tifa with me for this scene, simply because I think it's cute when she's like interacting with the planets and stuff like that. It's just so cute.
Oh yeah.
But I can guarantee you, she's not going to be joining you when you go fight with the Gi.
Oh
yeah, Gi tribe. I'm like, she does not do ghosts. You are leaving her upstairs where there is sunlight and no dead people.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it was Cloud, Aerith, and Red 13.
Yeah,
on that.
I think that's going to be the established party.
Because I don't think Yuffie would be going on that either. Yeah, I don't think Yuffie would be
maybe you'll
fan of ghosts. I think Cloud, Aerith, and Red 13 makes the most sense in that part.
Yeah, because Aerith, she's fine with dead things. Because she talks to dead people. She's got her Sixth Sense game going. Like, if I'm going through a haunted house, I want her with me.
Absolutely.
Of our star. The blood coursing through its planetary.
Biggest glow up. Fight me.
Yeah.
That is a glow up.
Hojo. They're connected to Sephiroth.
Now, is this the Mithril Mines here, or?
I think so.
I think
so. It's the Mithril Mines.
Yeah.
So I think what happens in the Mithril Mines, I think the party gets separated, or you get to shuffle it, because I see Barrett a little bit in the screen there.
Yeah.
But we also have another scene where it's just Barrett and Nanaki.
Yeah, we talk. I don't know if I talked to you about that. I talked to everybody about everything. Sorry, but I mentioned this. I think what happens is Nanaki or Red 13 for people who don't know his other name.
She uses his actual given name and his name preferred. Not
I hope that they. You know what? I hope they actually start calling him Nanaki after he tells them. That would be cool. That would be cool.
That is my preference because I know in On the Way to a Smile, the minute Nanaki says that he prefers his birth name, Yuffie makes that switch. That's why I made that comment that the minute somebody says this is my name, honor it. That's the name they want. But yeah, I think he does reestablish that.
Mithril or Cave of the G. Okay, yeah, possibly, yeah.
Now If it was the cave of the Gi, then it would be Nanaki with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so I don't think that's it. I think this is Mithril. I think they mostly just showed us a bunch of stuff out of the first, so 5 hours of the game.
So it still begs the question of whether or not you can shuffle your party, or if your party is chosen for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think when
you're running around and just doing regular, like, battles, I think you can choose your party.
Exactly, but I did notice something, which we'll see a little bit later on, so I don't know if I should bring it up now or then. But I think the entire party is present.
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. And yes, the party is present, but they're not all fighting in the battle.
Exactly. So then
they're like passive. You can't control them. Let me put it that way. Exactly. It's like, almost like what Red 13 was in Remake. Like, he's there, he's fighting, but you can't control anything that he's doing.
Well, I think you will be able to control Nanaki later, though.
Oh, no, absolutely. No. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think that you can just choose to control 3 characters, but the other characters might be where they're attacking, but you can't control anything they're doing. And just like how in Final, in Remake, you couldn't control what Nanaki was doing.
That you might actually go the 12 route. So if one of your party members fall, then you can swap them out for somebody who's there. Because in Final Fantasy 12,
I certainly hope so.
In the middle of battle, you were able to swap out your party.
Well, and you know what? We'll talk about it when we see it, because we know exactly what we're talking about. So, but I think this might be Mithril.
Yeah, I think it's the Mithril Mine, because we got the Mithril all over the place. Look at my baby!
Is this the back of Junon, or what are we looking at here? I'm trying to think.
I think it might actually be on the way to Junon.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, Junon, it might be the back of it. Like, we can't see the cannon from this angle, but I think that might be.
We just see, like, the pipe that the Mako is going through. I think that thing is full of Mako.
Yeah.
I believe he called them.
And by the way, do you think that's Rufus that's talking? I don't know if it's confirmed.
I would know that voice anywhere.
Yeah, for a split second, I thought it was Vincent for a second. I was like, only because he was talking about Hojo.
Vincent hasn't been played by yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's all hush hush, and I know the person that's playing Vincent is just like, I'm ready to announce.
Yeah, like I was like, I certainly hope that is not. I was like, I certainly hope that is not. Hey, girl, how you doing? I was like, I certainly hope that is not Vincent's voice. Rufus, sexy. Yeah,
I don't think so. I think it's Rufus.
Yeah, I think it's Rufus. I think it's Rufus. That makes more sense. I just, I was just trying to figure out when they would have possibly had this conversation about the road men.
So I think this might actually be, if we are not experiencing the first scene with the news through Zack's ghost, then we're probably experiencing it through Rufus, because he is going to be monitoring, like, making sure that the story gets out correctly.
Oh, you know what? And maybe, oh my God, what if he's talking about the whispers and not the road men? Because he says shadows of the man, and I have always oh my God, this goes into this theory I've had for a while. Chapter 4. And y'all have heard this speech a million times. I apologize. Chapter 4, you have that whisper that's hovering over Cloud as he sleeps, and he says something about dream the sweetest dream or something like that. But it has Sephiroth's voice. And then the whispers never attack Sephiroth, not once. Even though he's the biggest threat to the planet. They never attack him.
Think of him like a cancer. Like, the body doesn't really know the cancer cells are there. They think that they're supposed to be there.
Like, so I'm sitting there like, so if he says there's, because we know that Rufus saw those whispers in chapter 18. He was shocked because Sang didn't see what was going on, but everybody else just saw a tornado, basically, as So Rufus
knows a little bit better. Because
I'm telling you, I think they played right as the Sephiroth 10s in chapter 18. I don't think first off, it doesn't even make any fucking sense that you would change fate 5 hours into a 40-hour story if we're talking about OG, okay? It doesn't even make any sense.
So, again, keep in mind that Sephiroth, he has an end goal. So if Cloud thinks that he is succeeding and he thinks he's doing things of his own volition, that makes it easier for him to be manipulated.
Cloud thinks he's only chasing Sephiroth because he has a vendetta.
Exactly.
He doesn't even realize he's actually chasing Sephiroth because he's compelled to complete the reunion.
Exactly. So when you really think about it, love him or hate him, Rufus is a key component to the story. Love him or hate him.
I love Rufus.
And you know what? As I love him more and more. I do enjoy bad things happening to him, but I love him more and more. That's kind of my love-hate relationship I got with all the Turks. But
I'm reading the comment section. I love everything y'all are saying. Go ahead.
Well, so for me, like Rufus and the Turks, he's like the good bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a lovable. You know what? I even consider of the 5 directors, I consider Scarlet a lovable evil person.
She's fun. But at the same time, she's fun.
Both her and Heidegger, they got what they deserved by blowing up.
Yo, absolutely, they absolutely got what they deserved. Absolutely, they all get what they deserve, other than Palmer, unfortunately. But yeah. But anyway, sorry, we're going off topic.
Palmer gets what he deserves too, just by proxy of being such an idiot and putting lard in his pee.
Well, but he didn't actually die. Oh no, wait, he did die later. Sorry, he didn't die. He didn't die getting hit by that truck, but he died.
He got hit by a truck.
No, but he didn't die. He didn't die.
No, didn't he?
No, he didn't die.
He shows up later in a later flashback. Oh, not flashback, but well, you know that part when Kate Sith is communicating, like you can see Reeve in the room. It's not a flashback because the party asked Kate Sith to spy on that meeting. They say this meeting is taking place right now, and then the party says, "Yeah, go ahead and spy on that meeting that's happening right now and tell us what's going on." So that's not a flashback.
Yeah, it's just OG fuckery, honestly, because, I mean, like, also Don Cornell somehow managed to live despite the fact that he fell off of a fucking cliff. I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
you were supposed to survive in Final Fantasy VII. Nothing was going to stop you from surviving, okay? If they wanted,
we keep telling people, if they wanted Aerith to live and be with Cloud, she would have been with Cloud. Okay? Like, if they wanted her to live, she would be alive. Okay?
Exactly, but the thing is, I kind of liked it when I thought that Palmer was hit by Tuckun. Just like he was isekai'd into another universe, probably a scary one, and I'd be okay with that. But no, we're just gonna have to be happy with the thought that he just dies of clogged arteries, congestive heart failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too much butter.
And then they even resurrected Rufus from the grave, basically, because he should have been dead. But they came up with this whole thing that he had an escape hatch that his dad made or whatever. Like, if they wanted Aerith to live, she would be alive. They don't want her to live. Get over it. Like, good God.
Just like, I mean, Hojo.
Why are y'all trying to rob her of her purpose in the story? That just drives me crazy. Because I have found myself an Aerith fan in these last couple of years, and it really pisses me off that people just want to rob her of her story. It's just really ridiculous.
Exactly.
Anyway, sorry.
And for what? So she could be a third wheel in somebody else's relationship? Like, come on, man.
She will always be the other woman. Okay? Tifa is clearly the one that Cloud is supposed to be with from the beginning. She will always be, at the very least, the other woman who is distracting the actual love story going on. Like, y'all gotta get the hell over it. Seriously.
But the thing is, Spear has already established that Cloud is loyal, he is faithful.
And hell, Zack is amazing. I mean, why would anybody want to...
Like, you want to know why Aerith wears a long dress, even though it's impractical? It's because she bow-legged, okay? She was riding that man too long, and now she bow-legged.
I'm done. I'll see y'all later. All right. I saw this fan art today. It's one of my favorite fan arts. Like, Aerith was grabbing, like they were hugging each other. And Aerith was grabbing Zack's ass. I was like,
I would.
That's
too.
my girl right there. That's my girl. Yeah, you get it, girl. 89 letters. All I'm saying is 89 letters. Okay.
Exactly.
89. Like that shit. He must have done something to her in that church to get 89 letters. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like I said, she's hiding the fact that she's bow-legged because she was riding him.
Yeah, okay, we're not gonna get into detail. We're not gonna get into detail, but I'm just saying. All right, so for the next, we might actually make it to the 2-minute mark if we keep going.
Sephiroth was in Midgard. We fought him.
My baby.
Whatever happened.
Hang on a second. Hang on.
He's alive.
Oh, so yeah, Nanaki can control his flame, I think, because he's going to set that in on fire.
Well, you can't see his tail here.
Whatever happened.
Okay, we don't see a glow for his tail either.
Sephiroth was in Midgard.
Oh, but his tail is nowhere near on the screen. I don't know. I mean,
Okay, let me live in my delusions that he controls his tail fire, simply because all I can think is...
I want to know who's been drinking, because, like, you got 2 bottles of wine, you got a bottle of whiskey, probably, you got 3 bottles
of... 3 cups, so yeah,
they were like, shit, we almost died trying to kill Sephiroth. Let's get us some alcohol in us.
We fought him. Whatever happened, he's alive.
Supernova, you better cut it out here. She said, LMAO, they were rolling around in them flowers. I promise. I promise.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here, why do y'all think that the screen fades like that with Tifa? Like, obviously that's on purpose. It reminds me of chapter 1 and chapter 8 when Cloud has those memories of Tifa and it kind of, it gets staticky. Do you think that he got too close to, like maybe he was thinking too much about what Tifa said and therefore Jenova intervened or something? What do you think? Oh, you there? Okay.
Well, I think you might actually be very close to it. Because Tifa asked a valid question, and Jenova won't let Cloud put 2 and 2 together. Mm-hmm. So even though he's hyper fixating on Tifa and what she's saying, he's probably like, we get so many zoom shots of her mouth, he's obsessing over it. But I think part of it is also, even though he is trying to focus on Tifa, I think he's probably going to get a Jenova headache. I think he's going to get one of those headaches that's going to stop him from putting 2 and 2 together, even though you do have that zoom up of her mouth, so it's him focusing on what she's saying. Mm-hmm. So I think it's partly Cloud trying to overcome that mind control or not really mind control, but the Jenova influence.
Well, real Cloud is trying to break through, but
and his hyper focus of Tifa, which, yes, I made the joke that he's just hyper fixating on her lips, but he is trying to focus on what she's saying. That's why there's that focus on her mouth.
Well, they have shown that he pays attention to every single thing that she says. So.
Exactly. So I think that's partly why those scenes are so important and why they're framed the way they are, because it's him trying to focus on her. Mm-hmm. He is reaching to her, and Jenova is trying to snap him back. That's why I kind of feel like this is like the verge of a Jenova headache, because he is questioning his own recollection of it. It feels like I mean,
he leans upon Tifa's understanding so much. He relies on her. That's why the Northern Crater is such a pivotal moment, because that's when that connection is finally severed by Sephiroth. Mm-hmm. That's when let's really start seeing Tifa waver to the point where she's questioning whether this is even really Cloud, and that's what causes him to lose everything.
Yeah, because she doesn't know anything about anything going on, like she doesn't know about all this Jenova stuff and mimicking it. So she's learning this information just as Cloud is learning this information, because he doesn't know either. Even though he's experiencing it, he doesn't know what's going on, obviously.
Exactly. So I think this is where there's a lot of room for theory crafting, in that at this point, because the question is asked, what answer can he give? So, and because we all know Cloud is extremely intelligent, even with the time that was taken from him. Mm-hmm. He is a problem solver. He's figuring shit out. He is already starting to put 2 and 2 together and starting to be like, hang on, that doesn't look like 4 to me. Mm-hmm. So I think part of it, and again, this is strictly conjecture because we only have so many seconds of this scene, but that's what it feels like. It feels like they're both, even though they're not talking about it, they're both kind of helping each other put the pieces together. Hinting
around it and trying to, I think that's what's going to be going on a lot. There'll be like probing questions. Oh, I'm going back and forth. What is going on with my camera? Oh, there we go. Okay. I think even though I think the more they get confused, the more they will draw to each other. I think the more that Cloud separates from, the more that Cloud starts to break, he will cling onto Tifa more and more.
Exactly, but I think that's also probably why Sephiroth and Jenova will push so hard. But the thing is, like magnets, like you try to push them away, they're going to slam back together. So I think that's going to be the tension between them because they keep coming together. Like they can't keep their hands off of each other.
Oh, they come together all the time, I'm sure.
All the time. Sephiroth know that, okay, we need to separate these two. So they're going to put these weird thoughts in their heads and gaslight them into thinking that, hang on, is this my boo? Oh, you be.
Like that's what's so brilliant about this trailer. They had 3 years to decide what they wanted to put in their first full Rebirth trailer. As Nightmare said on Twitter, they decided to focus on the internal plot versus the external. So when we say that Aerith is a heroine. Sorry, it's a heroine. I don't know why I keep fucking saying that. Sorry. It's a heroine of the external story, meaning that after Cloud defeats Sephiroth, her being in the live stream ultimately saves the planet. She's the planet savior. That's the external plot going on.
Yeah.
The internal plot going on is Cloud is losing himself day by day, and eventually he breaks, and somebody has to save him, and it's Tifa. She's the heroine of the internal plot.
Exactly. But in order to play her role.
Oh, I was just gonna go off about the whole plot about Tifa as well. And the thing is too about Jenova targeting Tifa and all of this as well. Ah, crud. I waited too long to say it. I lost it. It'll come back to me.
Okay, well, when it comes back to you, let us know, because I'll let you say it whenever it comes back to you.
But no, something else that comes to mind is that in OG, the tension essentially pushing Cloud and Tifa apart was originally Aerith and Cloud forming this world separate of Tifa. That's why we have the peevish feelings that has been noted in On the Way to a Smile and some of the old guides.
Yeah, but Ultimania, Omega Ultimate. Oh no, 10th anniversary Ultimania.
Yeah, so now that we are establishing Aerith as Tifa's friend, Aerith is not the person that's going to stab Tifa in the back. So we have to reestablish, okay, how are we going to put this friction between them leading up to the Northern Crater?
Yes.
Now, this is theory crafting with regards to the actual storytelling. And it's that if you have, like, there's supposed to be some tension between the two that keeps them from realizing, oh shit, a little too soon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they have to keep this going.
Yeah, and Sephiroth, he's got this obsession with Cloud. He's not going to let Tifa get in the way of that. So he is going to try and separate the two of them.
Well, and again, it's about emotionally breaking them. And there are people who have convinced themselves that the way Sephiroth decided to break Cloud was killing Aerith. I mean, first off, it was Jenova that killed Aerith, not Sephiroth. Let's just throw that out there. I'm sure I'm going to break a lot of minds saying that. But, but it was actually Jenova. But the point being, it had nothing to do with... I mean, I guess it was an added bonus that would hurt Cloud, but that wasn't the primary reason.
Exactly, because Cloud, he's still very mission oriented. So it's just like, okay, let me get the shit done now, and then I'll cry later. That's
and I think that might be going into his strategy with Tifa, because the last time Cloud thought Tifa was dead, he murdered Sephiroth. So I don't think Sephiroth's trying to replay that. Okay, I think Sephiroth's like, let me find another way to get...
Yeah, but keep in mind, in Crisis Core, Cloud did break. He was broken.
Oh, yeah.
And seeing that Tifa was alive for him to be like, oh.
Well, yeah, but it was after he murdered Sephiroth that he realized that he broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like his first act was to kill Sephiroth, and then he broke.
Okay, I remember what it was that I was gonna say.
Okay.
This goes into more of like the whole Cloud breaking and thing. The thing is with Tifa is that she doesn't realize how much Cloud relies on her. So, because she doesn't realize, the biggest irony between these two is that they don't realize how important they are to the other person.
Yeah,
and how much they are reliant. And so, yeah, and like everything, like you were just saying, like, you know, the thing that emotionally breaks Cloud is that severed connection with Tifa. And the thing is that, you know, Tifa doesn't realize how important she is.
Well, neither of them realize how important they are to the other.
Yeah.
You know, like that's part of the, like it's a longing that they have for each other. It's not like
exactly. That's why a lot of the time it's just I look at the story and it's like, yeah, they borrowed a lot of shoujo, the shoujo genre of romance telling because everyone else can see it, but they can't because they are so incredibly intelligent. But when it comes to each other, they get stupid. I think what it is, the minute they talk to each other, like she sees his biceps and all thoughts go out of his.
That's the nature of the slow burn romance. You know, it's just like kiss already. Like if she had just simply said, and alone at last, if she had just simply said, no, I'm not ready to go, and they stayed in their room. Oh my god. But yes, okay, we really have got to go. Go ahead, Monk. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was just gonna say, wrap it up by saying that is why Genova singles Tifa out, not just because of how important she is, but it's such an easy way for her to gaslight because of that lack of knowledge on both of their parts.
Exactly, it's a weakness on both their parts that she can exploit.
It's Cloud's what is it? Achilles heel.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I kind of feel as if it's just in order to establish the friction without sacrificing the character development. They're going to kind of push them apart only to have them mash back together again. It's going to be very uncomfortable for them.
And I can't wait for them to mash back together under that highway. Lord Jesus.
Like, I kind of do like a little bit of angst in my adventures. Not too much.
I'm sorry, I got horny for a second. I apologize. Go ahead. Let's do the next 20 seconds, and then you can finish your thought once you get together over there. I certainly hope Cloud's hands don't look like that during the reunion.
That's what happens when you don't eat and you don't drink your water.
I thought about this. I was like, I certainly hope Cloud's hands look better than that during the reunion. My God.
Okay, so I do have one question here, and of course it's a rhetorical question because obviously no one here is going to be able to answer it. But I do see them changing something about the creator too, because Cloud never dons the cloak and the G, but now we see Now that raises some questions to me. At what point does Cloud end up with the cloak?
I don't think it actually happens. I think it's more metaphorical. If you asking me personally, I think it's more metaphorical. The point is, like they're just giving you, because he also does this in chapter 16. Like, you know, he has the cloak on. I don't think if he has the cloak on, it would be after Northern Court. It wouldn't be before.
Yeah,
so yeah, I just think it's just more metaphorical, like trying to hint to the audience that Cloud is also one of these cloned people, even though, ironically, even though Hojo considers him the failed experiment, he is actually the successful experiment. Yeah.
So, narrowly, and I kind of agree with this, and like I think it's kind of a projected image of Sephiroth just fucking with Cloud's head, making him think that he's a puppet, that he's no different from any of the other Sephiroth clones, when in actuality, it's part of him realizing, oh, no, I am me. I'm not Pinocchio. But it's a projected psychological warfare.
Yes, and speaking of, because all those rogue people are from Nibelheim, I wonder if, when they go back to Nibelheim, if Cloud or Tifa will recognize any of the people under the robes. Because they're all from Nibelheim.
Yeah, I think they probably will. Like, and this is kind of something that I have thought about as far as, like, hell, even as far as, like, writing fan fiction. Like, if we were to go back to Nibelheim, for example. And where are the bodies of the victims of the Nibelheim massacre? who's to say that Hojo didn't collect them all and start experimenting on them, turning them into...
He did it to a founder. Surely he would do it to anybody else. I mean,
exactly. So who's to say that when they unmask or unhood one of the cloaked individual in Nibelheim, who's to say that it isn't? Who's to say that we don't see Cloud's mom? Who's to say that we don't see Tifa's dad as one of the experimented on individuals?
Oh, that's fucked up. That is fucked up.
But who's to say that we don't have to worry about a mass grave or in the basement of somebody's house? If you like pick up the floorboards, there's all the bodies. Where are they? Like,
wow, I never thought about that, but you're right.
And you know,
I did. I went there. I'm sorry.
You know what's really horrifying now that you brought that up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking back to OG, and you see those cloaked figures just kind of hanging around inside the houses, just mumbling, reunion, reunion. What if there's some small part of them that's still somewhat coherent, so they go back into their own homes, but they're just not themselves, so they're in this zombie state, but they're still that inherent drive to go back to their home.
Exactly. In fact, like if you even go through some of the houses, the cloaked figures, they're not all adults. You actually do find two siblings.
Yeah, you see children
as cloaked Sephiroth clones, and the question becomes, okay, so Hojo did these experiments. Who's to say that they're not just waiting? Because Nibelheim is a nexus point also. That's where Genova was. That is where Reactor Zero is. So who's to say that if they do have to fight any of these cloaked Sephiroth clones, I truly do believe it might actually be their deceased family and friends. And that's terrifying.
It's certainly possible. I mean, and it's dark.
I mean, like, we know Square Enix is not above having the kid kill their parent. So I'm still
obviously.
Yeah, because who's to say that Brian is not out there somewhere looking like Frankenstein?
Oh, and Cloud would be the valiant hero with stuff in.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would just devastate Cloud to kill Brian.
But what if it's okay? Well,
I'm saying Tifa would be like, no, it's my dad, I can't do it, and he's like, I'll step in.
Oh my gosh, you're terrible. He would never.
But that's the question, though. Could he do it? Knowing
what?
So it's just like
Cloud would. I'm sure Cloud would be. Cloud would be beside himself.
I don't think he could do it. I don't, because the thing is, he's trying. He was trying to get the respect of the man to be worthy enough for Brian's daughter, for Tifa.
You don't think Cloud could kill Brian?
No, I don't think he could do it.
Whatever you say. No, I'm just fucking around. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but that is funny as hell. I'm sorry. Cloud's like, I'll step in, Tifa. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, I would say this. Regardless of whatever his personal feelings are, that's someone special.
Of course, I'm joking. Cloud would never murder somebody. That's crazy. Cloud would obviously never murder somebody. That's crazy. But part of me can't help but laugh because we know how much Brian hated him, and if he knew if Brian only knew he was rolling his daughter every night after OG, he would not know what to do with himself.
Just for that. However, like, who's to say that Hojo didn't do that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That is the whole comment section is reacting because that is totally something Hojo would do. Absolutely,
right in his wheelhouse. I mean, look at what he did to Vincent. Vincent turns into demons,
and Vincent was dead, and he revived him.
Exactly. So, like, now I have to wonder.
Once again, another person that they revived from the dead, but yet somehow Aerith never ends up with Cloud. Can't imagine why. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel bad for Vincent as far as the resurrection goes, but that's a whole other discussion that involves a Lucrezia rant.
Yeah, we have got, because I've got to go eventually. We're closing in on 9 o'clock, so we got to hit past this next minute and 30 seconds. Okay.